Hello world. It is good morning for me while I am filming this. So I have a couple of life updates for you. Sorry, I just moved the camera and I needed to pull my PJ pants on, and then I just ran my knee into my desk. I just need 1 second. Okay, I'm better. So let's go ahead and start putting on some makeup, shall we? We shall. So, wow, I don't even know where to start. I mean, this is a school and a life update, so I guess I'll start there. So, I attend a California State University. I guess it doesn't really matter which one it is, but you know, to keep it just a tiny bit private, I just attended one, obviously, in Southern California. And about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, I feel like I need more primer potion on my other eye. I didn't put hardly enough. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, the chancellor of all the CSUs, so the tippy top man, decided that our spring semester is going to be virtual again. Just to break it down, why he made this choice so quickly is that, from my understanding, is that the US Department of Education had given the schools a long time. Like, they gave them an extension of when they normally have to submit like their curricular year and their plans in, so they had extended that for this current semester for fall, but that they didn't grant that courtesy again, so they still had to turn in their plans as if the world was normal and non-pandemic-y. So he decided that because there wasn't an extension, that you just can't predict the state of the world by then. So normally we go back at the end of January for the start of spring semester, and that because normally that is cold and flu season, like when we would be going back, that, you know, instead of predicting that there'll be less cases, if anything there'll be more, because that is typical cold and flu season. So he was just like, I'm calling it, it's gonna be virtual again, sorry. So what does that mean for me? So because it's virtual, there's really no point in like living on campus or anything. Obviously that's just like financially irresponsible since I took out student loans. So I'm gonna be chilling here in Arizona for a whole nother year, and this is technically my senior year at college, which, you know, kind of sucks that it's gonna be virtual. I need like another moment to like process my thoughts. I'm also gonna put a little bit of sunscreen on just so it sits by the time I have to do my foundation, just because, I don't know, I usually like to give it a minute so I have a base that's ready to be worked with, you know, because I will be going out. So how do I personally feel about this? I'm sad that, you know, I am a transfer student, or was, I don't know how to say it. I was a transfer student, so that means I did half of my education, but due to my situation, it's more like 3/4 of my education, because I did not take the traditional 4-year route. Like 3/4 of my education was done like not through a 4-year university. So these last 2 years was gonna be like my college experience. I mean, I'm 24. Normally by now everyone would have graduated 2 years ago if it was traditional 4 years out of college, but you know, who cares? Everyone has like their own life, and I'm not comparing my life to others, which I definitely used to do, but now I really am just like, everyone's on their own path, and I lived a different life, and I can talk about that a little bit later. And I'm using the La Roche-Posay Melton sunscreen milk, and I'm using these little foil packets because I have them, and even though I already bought like a full size of this because I just really love this sunscreen the best for my face, even though I don't know why I'm putting it really all over, because it's just this part that's exposed. So at first I was a little sad because that meant that like I wasn't going to see classmates. I wasn't going to see my professors in person, which is human interaction. And me being in Arizona, where the only people I know is my family, I was really bummed in that regards. And I have my friends and I wanted to see my friends, and we all just kind of left so short notice thinking that we were gonna see each other like sooner or later, and now that's not gonna happen. That was really, really sad. Okay, so I did this the other day and I really like it, and I think it's appropriate for where I'm going. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Rose Gold Eyes to Memorize. Wow, I just looked at the back and it says a 6-month expiration date. Pfft, had mine open for more than 6 months, honey. So I was really bummed because, you know, it's like not when you don't, it's like not what you wanted, you know. I wanted to go back and enjoy my last bit of my senior year as a normal college student, or as normal as it could be, but that's not gonna happen. So I'm just putting this on first, and then what I did the other day is I took like this fluffy brush and really blended it in with it, and I really, really like that. But then, you know, that was like out of everyone's control, so really my sadness about it only lasted a little bit. And then I had like some confusion. I'm like, okay, how am I expected to go perform like what I studied in the world if I'm not getting like the hands-on practice? And I have many different like career paths I want to go down to, and they're all like completely different from each other within the same field. So I feel like this experience of what's going on is kind of just like putting me in a direction to a path that I said like, oh, like I think I would personally fit in better in. So I think, I don't know, like I could do anything, like it doesn't matter really, but I just feel like what I would feel confident in is the place I kind of felt like, oh, that's where I want to be. So I think that's interesting how like that's kind of like where I'm being pushed towards based on this, but you know, I don't really have to if I decide otherwise. And that's the great thing about, I don't know, the major that I picked, is that there's a lot of different choices. I mean, obviously it's going to depend what they want, because it's just a bachelor's and some people want you to like get your master's, and I don't really want to get my master's right now. But you know, I don't know if that made any sense. I just feel like the world is now pushing me into a direction that I even think I would fit in better and I'd be happier in. So I think that's interesting how, you know, that's turning out. And then I get asked if like I'm gonna stay in Arizona and like if I'm gonna move back to San Diego, because that's where I'm from, or like I don't even know like what, do I even have a home anymore? That's the real question. And it's like, if I go back to San Diego, I'm not going to be living at my grandparents' basically rent-free anymore. So I would have to like, and there's people who were like, oh, move in with me, like you can move in with me. And like, while that's a nice gesture and all, I would have to work like full-time to be able to pay rent, but I still have school full-time, so that just wouldn't work out. Like I'm still going to school. So I was like, no, I'm gonna stay in Arizona where my parents do not charge me rent. They just want me to finish my education. Of course, they'd be happy if I have a job, and I'll get into that later. But like, there's no pressure for me to like, okay, you have, like, you're living here now and you have to help us now because you're an extra mouth to feed, you're an extra person showering and using electricity and blah blah blah. They're not like that, which I really appreciate. And I know a lot of people recommend, even as you're older, like live with your parents like as long as you can, which I'm in that kind of I'm kind of in that situation, being in school full-time and trying to finish in 2 years, which they also kind of make it difficult for you as a transfer student. You just have to take a full load like the entire time, at least at the school I was attending, because they pulled this other crap. Yeah, they pulled all this other crap for you to take more classes, which just slows you down in your major because they want you to take all these upper division GE classes. It's just a ploy to get you to stay longer. So if you want to get out in 2 years, you really have to like pack it on. And I'm considering of last minute adding a chemistry minor. So yeah, it's great that there's no expectations of you have to get a job, yada yada yada, and just chill, do school. I mean, I'm still gonna be going out to San Diego because my boyfriend, my other friends are there, but he's also gonna be coming out more, which is great because I feel like we're in that like time where he needs to like get close to my parents because my parents are very traditional. At least my dad's very traditional, and if we want to get married, I had to have a close enough relationship where he can ask my dad's hand in marriage. I know, if he watches this, he's gonna be like rolling his eyes because I literally nag at him all the time. I'm like, you have to come out. You have to like, it's important for me and my dad for you to ask. And I need you to feel comfortable asking and not just like, hey, I've only seen you like 4 times in the 5 years I've been dating your daughter. Can I marry her? Like, you know? So I went to go heat up my coffee because if I'm drinking hot coffee, it needs to be hot. I don't do like this luke weirdness. I don't drink it if it's cold. I just need to heat it up. And then I ended up doing my mascara because I was practically done with my eyeshadow because I'm keeping it simple and light for where I'm going. I did get a little bit of mascara up here. But I don't really, since it's been like a little bit since I was talking, I don't really remember what I was saying. I think it was just that my parents are just like, school is your priority, like yada yada. And I think it gives, I just think that this whole situation, while it's not like the most convenient or like what we wanted, it's providing these other opportunities to happen that wouldn't normally happen. And things like that is that I get to spend more time with my family because they had moved back in 2016 to Arizona, and then for 3 years I was on my own. And I don't know, I've always been like a homebody, so it was kind of hard for me. I think I have mentioned that too also, but now I'm with my dog, and I just recently got the new one. Her name is Maple. And you know, now I get to like raise her and actually be a part of her life longer than just like a couple months, because if I would have had to go back to school, like she would have forgotten me, and I'm the one that paid for the dog. So I mean, my brother, we're splitting the cost of the dog, but he has to pay me back, and he had to get a job first to pay me back, and he barely just got one, so it's technically our dog. But now I get to be a part of Maples, which that's the name of the puppy, and Coco, which is my dog that I've had forever, since like my sophomore year of high school. Now I get to be in their life longer, which makes my heart happy because I love them so much. And it was also hard being away from Coco. Like, I freaking love her. So the fact that like I get to be with my dogs longer is also a blessing. In disguise, you know? For foundation, I'm only gonna put the tiniest amount on this area, and then I'll just put like concealer in this area, just in case if I do take my mask off, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. So, I don't know if you know, but I don't know who actually decided this, but basically student loans for the rest of the 2020 year, there's 0% interest, which is amazing, especially if you have like bigger student loans. That's really amazing. That, at least for my loan, I'm pretty sure it's all student loans, but like I don't know about private. At least public loans, like U.S. Department of Education said, Renee, your loans is 0%. And so I've kind of had a feel as to what my semester is like online, and I got a part-time job. Even though my parents are like cool without me having one, but there's just so many things I want to do that I just need to get I just had to get one. So I'm actually going into work today. It's my second day technically, but I'm doing like orientation, so I'm just like at a computer literally for 5 hours, and they have me like in a little room, and they're like, if no one's in here, you can have your mask off. And I'm like, great, which is why I'm still gonna do a little bit in this area, but for the most part, just this upper area. Because, you know, if someone does come in, and even like the first time, like someone came in and I would, or people did come in and I would put my mask back on. So I won't say where I got a job, but it's really like a part-time job, like 20 hours and fairly above minimum wage. And Arizona minimum wage is, well, I mean, I come from California, so if I said like Arizona minimum wage is low and you're from another state where the minimum wage is the same, you're gonna think I sound like an ungrateful brat. But in California, for the most part, I got paid like $15 an hour, and there was one point where I got paid $19 an hour. So just take that I got paid $19 at one point an hour to going to barely above minimum wage, Arizona minimum wage. Like, that's weird for me, but I don't care. I just need money, so I'm like, I'll do it. I'll take it. Please just hire me and give me money. Plus the position I work in is eligible for bonuses, which is cool, which will probably be very, very helpful for me. I just can't stand foundation lips. Like, I already don't like the color of my lips. Why would I want to appear more pale in person? I don't know if I want to add some concealer down here. I feel like maybe I'll just add a little bit more foundation and skip the concealer, just because no one's seeing me for the most part, and my hair usually covers this area. This is like my very insecure area. If it was clear, perfect clear, like I had mentioned in my last Get Ready With Me of like things I want to get done, I wouldn't even be applying makeup really. So I do have a part-time job, and I want to go to Italy as like my graduation thing. So, you know, I have to save up money for that, and I want to go with Josh, who is my boyfriend. And I know some of you who are more responsible and gung-ho about taking care of their debts are going to be like,
you really shouldn't be going to Italy until you pay off your student loans.
Hold on, ladies or gentlemen who are ever watching this. I am going to be paying off, I'm going to start paying off my student loans while I'm still in school. But I'm also going to be saving up for Italy. I just want to put that out there. I am going to be budgeting my paychecks for different things, and 40% of my paychecks is going to go to student loan repayments, and everything else is kind of just divided up. But the reason why I'm not throwing everything that I'm making to my student loans, and why I'm still gonna be like getting stuff for myself, is that I have a smaller, and this is like me, this is my personal situation. Like, I don't need people to come tell me, and I know like you guys, my subscribers, probably won't. It's gonna be like, girl, do you? But maybe like the odd person that like stumbles upon the video will want to like yell at me and pull my hair from the comment section, but you know what, whatever. I have a small amount. Like, I only have, and I say like small amount in comparison to a lot of people that have like a really, really big amount of student loans. But I mean, when I say the amounts, like, it's still a lot of money. Like, it's not just like, oh, walk in the park. Like, I have, I'm just gonna round it up to 20. I have $20,000 in student loan debt. Half of it, it's all mine, but half of it is under my name, and then the other half is technically under my parents' name. It was like a parent plus loan, but my parents said like, if we're gonna take this out for you, like, you're paying it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I will do that. That's my loan situation. And you know, like I said, 20,000 is still a lot, but most people have at least 30 grand, 40, 50, in the triple digits. So my loan is a lot smaller, and the fact that it's 0% interest rate right now, I can really get a kickstart which is what I'm planning on doing by throwing 40% of what I make to it. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't have any other responsibilities. Like, I don't have a mortgage to pay. I don't have car payments. I'll help out with groceries like here and there, but I'm not constantly like buying groceries to feed people like a lot of people. So, which is why I understand why a lot of people like want to like get out of debt, especially like if it's such a big like crippling number. But at the same time, why am I saving for Italy? Why am I allowing like the other 60% to go to other places? Because honestly, my career choice, when I get a career in my major, I was like, what am I trying to say? I'm a STEM major. Like, I can make that money to pay off my loans pretty quickly, considering like my loan amount. I don't know where, obviously, location and what job is obviously going to change, but for a STEM major to be able to pay off their only thing is $20,000 and they don't have any other responsibilities, to me that seems like that's going to be an easier thing than spending like a long time. I'm trying to like not be insensitive to people who have certain situations and have bigger loans or are struggling to pay off their loans, but I have to say that what I ended up choosing usually like tends to have a promising return, even if you're starting out at like the lowest of the low. Because what I made at the hotel, and again, this was like poor like money management on my end, like what I made at the hotel for $15 an hour annually, my loans would have already been paid off, and then I would have like extra money. In that way, I feel like, sure, Renee, like you worked so hard in your major, like the amount of stress and like drainage that what I chose is, I'm saying okay for myself, save up for Italy. Put that 60% wherever you want to put it. You're already dedicating 40% of whatever you're gonna make. Before I even graduate, I'm gonna start throwing it at my student loans, which is not a usual situation and is what I am able to do thanks to Linda. Who would have thought that there would be a bright side to this? On top of that, I was supposed to go to Portugal this last summer, and that didn't happen because of Linda, and so I have that money to also put towards Italy. So like, I'm starting to get my ducks in a row for what I want, okay? So I just kind of wanted to explain it, like why I'm doing that, because there was this one point when I was working at the hotel, I was all about like getting rid of credit card debt and being debt free, and I'm still like on that road. Like, I'm still doing that. Obviously, like credit card debt versus student loan debt, at least the credit card debt that I had is like so different from my situation now, and it's just different now. Like, I'm still trying to like, I still want to be debt free, but I also feel like what I've been through the last 2 years for school, she deserves to treat herself, and I'm okay. I think that the fact that I'm getting a head start on my student loans before, you know, you have to start paying them back within 6 months of graduation, like the fact that I'm doing that and shaving off whatever I can is not something a lot of people can do. And I don't know, what the amazing thing, hello Coco, she just came in my room because my door was open. She's granting me with her presence. The cool thing about this job specifically, I don't know, I've never had a job like this, is that they pay weekly. Oh my god, that's gonna be such a blessing, and could be so dangerous if I didn't already like spent like 3 days deciding on how I want to budget out certain things and like sinking funds and all of that stuff. But I hate getting paid bi-weekly. I mean, sure, I hated it when I didn't know how to manage money and I just wanted to spend, and I would blow it all within like the first week, and then I'd have to wait like another week to replenish my bank account. But for what I'm trying to do, I'm just excited to get paid by like weekly and be able to throw money at whatever I have budgeted aside weekly. Like, that is so like the most encouraging, and why can't I say that word right? Ugh. It's the most encouraging thing for me, rather than doing it on a bi-weekly basis, because I am an obsessive type. I am thinking about something constantly, and when it comes to something like throwing money at my student loans, like seeing my savings grow, the fact that it's happening weekly is just going to keep this like, oh my god, I gotta keep going, instead of like every 2 weeks and like being like, oh my god, I really want to throw at it and getting burnt out because it's like this agony of waiting too long. This is what happens. As you can tell, I'm a little bit impatient. If you didn't catch my gist right now, I can be a little bit impatient. So the fact that this pays weekly is really exciting to me. The fact that I can throw like money at the loans, which I'm gonna start off with trying to pay off my parents' loans first, because I think they have a higher interest rate. Some of my loans, the government pays the interest until I graduate. It just makes more sense to pay off my parents first, especially because this is affecting like their credit score and like whatever they need to do. So I want to pay off theirs first before I start paying off mine. And their loan, even though it's my loan, also has a 0% interest right now. So the fact that I get to throw money at it weekly and see that decrease is going to be great. And that's just like I'm still gonna be like new, so I don't know holiday times, like how the hours are affected or how much of a schedule I'm going to get at the very beginning, because they always start you off low as you're like learning. I don't know how it's gonna be, like I'm just assuming. So like literally I budgeted like the bare minimum amount that I probably would get, if that makes any sense. So I budget, like I'm just gonna say, like for example, if my weekly paychecks, because it's weekly, it's gonna be less, and at such a, I mean, if you look up Arizona's minimum wage, I'm not getting paid minimum wage, but after taxes, I'm just saying, let's assume I get paid. I always undermine everything, so if there's more, I can be excited about it, and if there isn't, like I already prepared for that. That's like the type of person that I am. So let's just say I get paid, which I don't, but let's just say it's $12 an hour, and I only worked enough to like get $200 a week. But let's say like that $200, that's already budgeted out to go to like certain categories. And let me know if you guys want to see like me doing like budget, like how, like sinking fund budgets, all of that stuff, because that's basically what I'm doing. And then anything that's over that $200, like I can put it where I see fit. So like most likely it's going to be going to the Italy budget, but if I know someone's coming out, or if I want to go out somewhere, it's gonna go to like the me fund, or holiday time is coming up, so it's gonna go to like the gift fund. And then same with YouTube paychecks. Ever since like Rona hit, like the ad rates are a lot lower than they used to be. Like before Rona, or Linda, whatever, I don't even know what to call it anymore because it's been so long. Do we need formalities? There was at one point where every month I would get a paycheck, and then from YouTube, a very small amount, like barely anything, like peanuts basically. And ever since Linda happened, I literally get one every 3 months. Again, I'm a teeny tiny little person, but it's like, oh, I was finally starting to get at a rhythm where it's like, yes, barely making it like every month, and now it's like every 3 months. So whenever I get one of the YouTube paychecks, like that also goes where I see fit, because of the $200 that I have, let's just say like a month budgeted, like what I'm putting towards Italy from that is not enough to get me to Italy, if that makes sense. So literally have to bust my butt off while still like going to school full time and making sure I have A's and B's, making sure I have some sort of extra income to add to that. Now this video is gonna be so freaking long. Not everyone watches it, but you know what, whatever. Thank you to all the loyal people. Ugh, I really should have put foundation or concealer on. I just don't like the look of the red, but you know what? It's mask season. It's fine. You know what? Set the bar low for these people. So that way, when I come in looking like during exams, if I come in looking like horrible, they'll be like, oh, it's just her. I'm like, yeah. What do I have it budgeted as? 40% right now I have budgeted to loans / debt. 25% is going to Italy. 5% of that is going to YouTube, and that's saving up for a camera, saving up for a new editing system, possible like giveaways, like that type of fund, and whatever like I make off of, like, let's say if I have a collaboration where someone actually wants to like, or sponsorship, whatever. I learned now when to use what when, because apparently I was not using it right. If I make anything like that, I will be putting that under just, it's going back to YouTube. If you use my Ardent candle like discount code, that's going back to YouTube. Some people have used it, thank you so much. I can see like that amount like building, and it makes my heart really happy that people actually want to support me. Makes me so happy. So like that money goes into the YouTube category, and I'm still like adding on money on top of that. It just helps me get closer to whatever I need to get closer to. So I have a giving category, so 10%, but this giving category is not necessarily like, oh, as of right now, it's not necessarily going to like charities or anything. This is me giving back to my parents who are feeding me, or my grandparents, like send money to them because I know that they're also having a hard time right now. So 10% is gonna go to them. I'm not just gonna give it to them directly. I'm kind of just gonna let it build up, and then when I have like a good amount, so let's say like, I don't know, $100, I'll either like give it to them if they need it, or just buy the groceries for everyone, or again send it off to like my grandparents for like Christmas or something. So I'm gonna be like building that, and when it gets to a sufficient amount, giving back to the people who helped raise me and have helped me and my family like throughout life, you know? So I want to do that. 10% is also going to the dogs. So I am the one who is on top of everything when it comes to the dogs now. Like Coco has, she's sleeping, but she didn't react to her name. She has a dental appointment, and that might be really pricey. Coming up in November. Mabel is gonna get spayed when she hits 6 months, and their shots and their food and that stuff. So I'm gonna dedicate 10%, and after like the major surgeries, I'm just gonna build up like a sinking fund for them, and then redistribute that 10% elsewhere once there's like a good chunk. But that's gonna take a while, especially if like, let's say 10% of the 200 is only 20 bucks. So that's gonna take a while. And last but not least, the last 10% is the me. So that is if I want to fly out somewhere, if I want to go out to eat, like I am building this fund of like 10% again is of the 200 theoretical is 20 bucks, so like 20 bucks a week for me. Or if I want to buy like makeup or clothes, like that's where it would also come from. I don't know which video is going up first. I think maybe this one, maybe the other one, I don't know, it really depends. But basically I just did a really freaking big purchase, so me does not need anything right now. If you've seen it, you know, and if you haven't seen it, oh, you'll know. So currently, because holidays and like Christmas is right around the corner, like my mom's birthday, my 5-year anniversary with Josh, Christmas, and then my dad's birthday at the end of January, and then Valentine's Day is in February. Yeah, so a lot of things are like back to back to back. There is no me right now. That me is going to gifts. So I'm gonna start building like a fund for gifts. Again, right now, the way that I see it fit, whatever extra money that comes in that's not specifically like a sponsorship or like from my affiliate code is probably going to be going to gifts right now, and then probably eventually it'll change back to Italy. It just depends. So that's why I don't know if you guys want to see budgeting videos on that and see like how this is happening. That's my life update. I haven't like really been getting ready, so let me, I just don't want to keep doing my makeup and like making this any longer than it has to be. But so I'm probably just gonna finish my makeup off camera because this is good enough for now. If I want to add anything extra, I don't know. I haven't added blush or contour or my lower mascara or my lipstick, but that's fine, you know, whatever. I don't even know what I'm gonna wear, and I usually like kind of want to match that but not match it. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's kind of my life update. I'm gonna be in Arizona, and you know, the workplace that I'm at understands that I'm a student and I kind of want the minimum amount of hours. So this theoretical $200 is like, see, I don't know, because I don't know how Arizona taxes work. California takes a lot of taxes, so I'm basing that off of like my experience with California taxes and like getting paid the bare minimum and working the bare minimum. And again, technically this $200, it's theoretical because this is like for just minimum wage and for the lowest amount of hours, but realistically it can change. And I don't know, I think doing like little budgeting videos might be fun, just like a monthly like check-in of like what happened. But yeah, I'm gonna be here. They understand. That's why I got a job. Got to take advantage of the 0% interest on student loans and get a head start on that, because again, how many people can say that they can throw money at their student loans before they even graduate, before they even have to begin the payment period where they have to start paying? And I saw like a lot of like the TikTok, or I just saw videos that was going around on TikTok that was on Twitter because I don't have TikTok, about this lady who has paid like, I don't even know, I'm just shooting numbers here. She originally took like a $70,000 loan, and she has paid like something ridiculous, like 80 grand towards loans over the last 10 years, and she still owes 79 or I think 80, and she was just having a meltdown. And that really was just like, no, even though my loan is like a tiny amount, I want to start throwing money at it now. And yeah, like I'm not throwing everything at it because I still want to live my life. I'm not gonna live my life during Linda. I still want to enjoy myself because I'm still putting all this hard work while I'm still at school. I feel like if I was out of school and I was working like a real job in my career, in my major, I feel like obviously the situation would be different, but this is like a part-time job, like a random part-time job. Thank you if you made it to the end. Like, you're the real one, because this is probably gonna be so long. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you and whoever is watching, and I will see you in the next one because this is really long. Bye.